Okay, so this is my first YouTube channel and this is my introduction video. And as you can see in the title, the name of it is Pain into Purpose. And what I'm going to be sharing with you guys is a little bit about my story and what led me to make my YouTube channel. So everything is really centered around this whole year of 2021. It's December now, but everything that has happened in this year is what led me here, and this is my personal story. So I cherish this story because I'm not the type to share anything about my personal life, but I feel like the things that I've been through this year could potentially help somebody out there. So to get started, it's January of this year, and I just entered back into nursing school. I had failed 2 years prior, so I had to take some time off, and then I came back this year. So I had just got back into nursing school and I started feeling sick, and I just thought it was like a common like cold or something like that, so I didn't think too much of it. But it's like when I was in my clinicals, I kept having these little spells where I was like to pass out, so I would have to sit down often. And I'm still not thinking nothing about it because I've had like little spells like that when I'm standing too long, so that's what I thought it was. So come to find out, I was pregnant. So not to mention, in the midst of all that, my relationship had changed. My boyfriend had came to me and told me that he wanted to have a second girlfriend. And so we've had already had conversations about him possibly having a second girlfriend, but it was just conversation. I didn't ever think it would be like a reality. So when he came to me about it, it wasn't a shock to me, but I agreed with it initially. So that happened. So found out I was pregnant. My relationship changed. And I say like a couple of months go by, and then I find out that his second girlfriend is also pregnant. So right then, that's when things like completely changed for me, because it's like I really didn't care about the fact that he had another girlfriend or whatever, but to bring another child into the situation, that's when things really changed for me. And that's when I can really say I experienced like the most hurt in my life. And that was really tough on me because now I'm in school, I'm trying to focus on my work and stuff, and now I got to deal with my personal life as well. Nursing school is already hard as it is, so with that added on to it, it just made things like so tough for me. So I still continue with school because I got to do what I got to do. But it's tough, things are hard. My grades, they were all right, but they had started slipping and whatnot. And then like dealing with having a child growing in your stomach, you're trying not to like let what's going on in your life really just get to you. So I dealt with it the best way I could so that I wouldn't do like any harm to my child. And this is what really led me to my purpose, because in this time, that's when I really just went inside myself and started working on me internally. Like I had already been working on myself, but this situation had like just made me jump real deep into it, like just working on myself. Like I felt so alone and isolated. I just had all these emotions. I'm crying, I'm mad, and all of this stuff. So time is just going on, and I just felt so lonely. I started doing like little things like journaling. I started taking walks by myself, and like it was really like a soul, like a healing thing for me. And like through all of this, I said we got to May, and I failed nursing school once again. But the thing about it, it didn't affect me this time because it was in this time that I realized that nursing really wasn't even my passion. So me failing this time, it really didn't even hurt. So like, all right, that's sweat off my back. I'm not worried about that no more. I could just, figure out what my purpose is, because I just didn't have the passion for nursing. It wasn't it for me anymore. So still dealing with the situation with my relationship. You know, I'm strong. I'm being strong about it, but I still have feelings and stuff, and I have to work through certain things because I ain't never been through anything like this in my life. But in the midst of all that, it did help me to just turn within. All of this really like just made me go back to myself. And I want to say one of the other things is like, in the midst of me healing myself, it made me go back into my childhood. And it brought up all the things that I've had against like my parents and stuff. And all that stuff just started coming up out of me. And then I got to a point where I couldn't take it anymore. So I mustered up the courage to get my family together and sit down so we have some things out and have each other share like traumas or get off our chest any grievances that we had with our parents. And I must say, like, once we did that, it was a good healing session for my family. It was a good thing, but it's like, with all that was going on in my life during this time, I was just wondering, like, what's the purpose in all of this? Like, Most High, like, what lesson are you trying to teach me? And it wasn't until like these last couple of months of this year that the lessons had started to dawn on me. Like, I've learned so many lessons through this. Like, even though this situation was not ideal for me, and I realized I had made mistakes in my decisions, I realized that certain situations in life are necessary for your growth. And this situation that I'm going through right now is what's going to make me into the woman that I am and the woman that I'm becoming. Like, I'm so into my, my growth and just bettering myself. And this situation has really helped me. So in a sense, like, at first I was like, this is some bullshit. But now I'm looking at it like, I'm thankful that it happened. It's a tough situation. Like, I'm not even gonna kid you. Like, it's really tough dealing with it. But it's taught me to learn to, be optimistic, because I can't change what has happened. Like, I take full responsibility of my actions in it, because nobody put no gun to my head and make me agree to this situation. I own up to my part because I agreed to it as well. So some may look at me and, make it seem like I'm a victim, but I'm no victim. I'm no victim. I made my choice. I made the decision. So I don't ever want to be looked at as a victim. I look at this as a learning experience. And I never really messed up or been through nothing major in my life until this year. So I feel like this is that time for me, like, this was that time for me to make my, have my mess up in life in order for me to get back on track. Because this situation has really made me get myself back on track. Like, the lessons I've learned, it taught me how to, forgive people, because, the situation is going to be what it's going to be. Like, I can't change it. It taught me how to, like, let go. And that's what I had to do, because I was mad at him and I was mad at myself, and I created all these emotions, that was eventually going to turn into hate, resentment. But I realized, like, the person that I am, like, I got so much love to give. Like, hating somebody and trying to punish somebody, like, that's not in me. So I made the choice to let go and just forgive him and to forgive myself. So now this is catapulting me to a whole new path. I feel like I'm having a new beginning. Like all this that's happening was definitely necessary for me. And it's taught me to let go of the things that I can't control. Like, I don't make the decision now. The decision is made. Both of us made our decision. So what comes behind it is what comes behind it. Now it's like, how do we move forward from now? So now I'm just taking things every day at a time. My situation is not ideal, but I'm going to be optimistic about it, and I'm going to make the best of it. Like, I didn't even want to share this story because I was ashamed of it at first, but now it's just to the point where I don't even give a damn, because this story, this situation in my life is what made me. I could have let this situation break me, but it didn't. And I'm just like so proud of myself for how I'm even handling it, you know, and that's why I'm here sharing my story. Like, you know, learn to love yourself, because if you don't love you, then how you gonna love somebody else? Like, this whole situation has taught me about self-love, you know, learning to let go, learning to forgive, have patience. It taught me the meaning of unconditional love. It taught me a whole lot. Like, it's crazy how out of chaos you can find beauty. Like, through all of this, like, it just amazes me that I'm still here. Like, it really didn't break me like how I thought it would. I could have let it break me, but I didn't. And I'm just here to share my story. So, you know, maybe I can help someone out there not to make the mistakes that I made. You know, somebody had to make them in order to teach somebody, you know, what not to do. But through it all, I did receive a blessing. I got my son out of this situation. I had him in October. So just to see his little face every day is a blessing. So this is something that I could teach him about, you know, so he won't grow up, you know, making the same mistakes that his parents made. So I'm happy that, I'm thankful that I messed up. Because I ain't like, now I know, like, it's no sense in trying to live life being perfect. You know, we mess up in life. And like they say, life is your greatest teacher. And right now, it's teaching the hell out of me. So hopefully my story helps somebody. And just go and eat this up, because this will probably be the last time you hear about my personal life. So that's where that pain into purpose comes from. All that pain that I've acquired from this situation and stuff, and like, it made me get out of that mindset of being like a victim. Because I could sit up here and I could blame that man for my hurt for the rest of my life. But how am I going to grow? How am I going to truly be happy if I'm sitting up here blaming him for some mistakes that we made? I can't give a person that much power over me. I'm no victim. So instead of me sulking and just being mad and angry, I'm going to let this situation and all that pain that I've gained from this situation, I'm going to turn all that into my purpose. And this right here, this going to be my purpose right here. Like, this is my passion here to, like, you know, help others and, like, teach them. Like, and this is me trying to teach others through my mistakes.